Hello everyone, welcome to the No Security X YouTube channel. Today we have a CTF challenge published by YesWeHack. It's called RubitMQ. They released it yesterday actually. I had already solved it, but now I want to solve it during a live session and explain it in detail. But before moving on to the video, let me say this. I created an Instagram account 2 days yesterday, excuse me. I'd appreciate it if you follow. Now let's do this. Let's open the link and slowly get into the explanation. Now we aren't just going to solve for the flag here, we won't just solve a CTF, so to speak. In this video we will touch upon what is OJ, what is deserialization, how JSON turns into an object, and why this is a security vulnerability. Now the basic logic here is based on Ruby. They already wrote it here. There is something happening on Ruby. Now let's start from the very beginning. What is JSON? First of all, JSON acts as a carrier for us, meaning it is a text format. It's not like a command, for example, it doesn't run like code, it's just a text format. This format called JSON helps us carry this text. Programs take this JSON format, read it, and access the values inside. It has been evaluated according to the program itself. For example, the content of the JSON is written. The program takes this and organizes it as raw data within itself. It reads it, let's put it that way. Now there's this process called deserialization in these JSONs, and then there's what we call unsafe deserialization. Now when we ask what deserialization is, the logic of the system is like this. Let me take the text and turn it into a structure I can use internally. That's how programs work. There's no problem with that. It converts it to JSON format. There are hashes, then arrays, and data types we call strings inside. It helps these data types work directly on the program. For the program, these data are inside the JSON, let's say. So what is this unsafe deserialization thing? Now there are some libraries that want it to not just be data, but also serve to create objects inside. Meaning JSON shouldn't just carry basic data in a simple way. It shouldn't just contain data, but at the same time these JSONs should be able to create objects. Let me give an example. JSON can tell the system, if I want to give an example. There are classes and programs we all know produce an object from a class. Some programs, for example, allow us to do this with JSON. Now, if this feature is open for input coming from users, then the event we call unsafe deserialization happens. This means the attacker is no longer just sending data. They can also create objects within the program. So the vulnerability here in this CTF, in this challenge, actually stems from there. Now we're going to send data here, but the data we send won't just be data. It will allow us to create an object inside. And with that object we created, we will obtain the flag as an attacker. That's basically what it does. Now, there is a JSON parser used in the code of this challenge. There are parsers for these JSONs, and the one used here is a parser called OJ. This thing called OJ. There is the Ruby language, the programming language, because it's used very fast. The system called OJ is used as a JSON parser in Ruby. Now, there are some modes in OJ. It has very critical features. With a special key, when you enter the special key into the JSON format, it creates an object in Ruby. Like I said, some programs can create objects internally via JSON. Now why is it dangerous? Let's get to the point. Now something like this. I wrote something like this here. What is this that I wrote? Let me explain that first. This OJ thing allows us to create an object in the node class. This tells us create an object for us within the node class. I send this to the system, for example, and the system gives me an output like index, HTML. This means when we send something here, our flag will be written there. That's the basic idea. Now let's go back to the challenge. What will we do in the challenge? Let's summarize it briefly. Now we enter input into the system as seen encodes it and gives us an output. Like this, I entered node, it encoded it internally and gave me something like this as an output. Now there is a worker process in the background. It works exactly like that. It takes it from the user, encodes it, and gives us the output. Let's go up, no need to go down here. Now what is our goal? We all know that the basic goal in CTFs is the flag, no problem there. Now I will write the payload here that will get us the flag directly, and I will explain what we used for what in the payload and why we used this payload. Let's start if you want, like this. Look, it's already processed here. This node I already mentioned this. What did it do? It was creating an object, a node, This is for creating objects, not just for carrying direct text in JSON. Args already comes from arguments, this one, okay. Now we will create an argument inside, meaning we will create a system parameter in the argument. Should I explain it like this or how? Let me gather it so everyone can understand. The system passes the arguments we call arg inside node as a parameter, okay, let's put it that way. Now we have defined a parameter inside, so to speak. Now if you ask what the maxDepth command does, it helps us run this command quickly, stable, fast, and stable. We specify it directly as maxDepth, 0. Exec SHC, those who solve CTFs or machines will know this already. This is something like our primitive function that allows us to run the find command in basic Linux, let's say. Echo flag is also, what was its name? Now environment. There is this thing called environment in node systems. Now if you ask how I knew it was a node system, the find command is running in the background. If you ask how you understood it was node. In this environment system there is also, what was it? We will get the flag from here in nodes. I mean, there is an environment file inside the environment in nodes. It allows us to print the flag directly. This is already a basic thing. We need to close the command, a semicolon. Now the moment I send this, and we find the flag in the system. Let me put it that way, I already solved this yesterday, as I said. My goal here is not just to solve the flag but to explain the basic logic to people, I mean to you, and process how the system works. That's all I'm going to talk about in this video. If you subscribe to the channel, share the video, and if anything is on your mind, by the way, you can write it in the comments. Also, if there is another video you want us to film, I mean on any subject, you can also comment on that topic. See you in another video, and I'd be happy if you follow our Instagram account. I wish everyone good work.